This is War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock, Arkansas, and this is SEC opening night. The Razorbacks of Arkansas welcome us to our 85th season of Southeastern Conference football. It's year number 5 of the Bret Bielema era, and they are in their home away from home in the center of the state with all the promise and excitement of a brand new season just moments away from getting started. With that, we're underway. Welcome, everybody. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers will be joined by Cole Cubelic down on the field. It kind of feels like Christmas morning. Every record is perfect. Every goal is still attainable. And we're ready to bring you SEC football every Saturday night. We just couldn't wait to get started, so we decided to go on a Thursday.
You think I was playing a game. I'm ready to get out there right now. Finally, these teams get to line up against someone with a different colored jersey. And us three are soon to be the 3 best friends that anybody could have.
It's going to be like a season-long road trip. That's maybe what it felt like for Arkansas last year. A season full of promise, just a couple of quarters away from 9 wins, but melting late. And Austin Allen, their quarterback, had what could be described as a great season. According to some numbers, others need drastic improvement. How does he get there?
Well, his first year as a starter, he demonstrated big play ability, pushing the ball downfield, accuracy at all 3 levels of the defense, and really an uncanny ability to be poised under pressure. The thing that steps out or that points out is the 15 interceptions. That's something that you've got to cut down as a quarterback. First-year starter, everything's going a little bit faster. Your fundamentals are going to suffer. Here you see his hips and his feet downfield. He's trying to push the ball to the outside. Base equals balance. Balance equals accuracy. You see him leave it inside. That's a turnover that can be prevented. As well as a quarterback, you start to learn how to use your eyes. When you're a first-year starter, that's probably the last thing on your mind. You're trying to figure out where your receivers are going. Right here, you see he stares down the outside dig. The underneath linebacker is able to undercut that and make a big play on the opposite direction.
So defense expected at the quarterback position, improvement expected there, and it's necessary on defense. So what did Bret Bielema do? He changed things up. Paul Rhodes is a new defensive coordinator. They're going to be running a 3-4 this season. And for more on that and what that means, let's go down to the field as we say good evening, Cole Cubelic.
Tom, I thought we already were the 3 best friends, but I'm excited to see this new 3-4 defense under Paul Rhodes tonight. They finished 126 in the nation in yards per carry allowed a season ago, over 6 yards per carry. There are some pieces that could make this defense exactly what Paul Rhodes wants it to be. Bijan Jackson, a prototypical SEC nose guard. Randy Ramsey could be an elite edge guy, has all the skills to be able to do it. The pieces are there. Can they put it together? It starts tonight.
All right, Cole, thanks. Meanwhile, on the other side for FAMU, they got a head start on this season. A big win with 400 yards of offense last week against Texas Southern. The starter then was Ryan Stanley. There's some question as to whether or not he'll go tonight, suffering a left ankle injury, but they've got a couple different guys who can run that offense.
Yeah, they love Stanley, what he did at the end of the season. He's 5-3 as a starter, including that win last week. You're going to see Vincent Jeffries at some point, whether Stanley is healthy or not. Stanley's ability to push the ball and be accurate at questionable sometimes. Vincent Jeffries, as mobile, can move with his feet, but also a little more accurate, pushing the ball downfield and underneath. They got to be able to protect the ball if they're going to compete with Arkansas today.
Well, the head coach of the Rattlers of FAMU is no stranger to Arkansas fans. He was a former coach under Houston Nutt on his staff. Alex Wood, 31 career wins in 7 seasons as a collegiate head coach. Meanwhile, on the other side, Bret Bielema. In year number 5 at Wisconsin, he took the Badgers to the first of 3 straight Rose Bowls. Can he take Arkansas to something special and spectacular this season? We will find out as Arkansas gets an early start on this year. They used to play a lot of games here in Little Rock at War Memorial. Now down to 1 a season. Home away from home and much closer to the fans of Central, Southern, and Eastern Arkansas. FAMU will kick it away. Arkansas won the toss, and the Razorbacks have elected to receive. Briston Guidry is back to receive for Arkansas. Taken at the 4. And a little bit of room out to the 20 from Deion Stewart. So the Allen name continues here at Arkansas. Austin Allen in his 2nd season as a starter. Back-to-back state championships at Fayetteville High School. He was on the field for the Cotton Bowl, and his dad was the defensive coordinator, along with his brother Brandon, playing tonight for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And so it's all in the family once again for these Razorbacks. FAMU, by the way, is wearing illegal jerseys tonight, and so that's a call from our White Hat. This is an SEC crew. They will be charged with a timeout each and every quarter. The numbers of the jerseys must be contrast in color to the rest of the jersey. That's not the case for FAMU, and they don't have other jerseys with them. For a long bus ride from Tallahassee. Lee Hedrick is our referee tonight, and he just made that announcement to the crowd. So they're going to lose 3 timeouts tonight, once a quarter.
But, Tom, you got to look good to play good, right? I don't think they're worried. I mean, maybe they're worried a little bit about the timeouts, but not much room in that bus, I imagine, packing all of those guys on that 10-hour ride.
Yeah, 10-hour bus ride from Tallahassee. It saves them about $60,000. That'll go towards their summer school books. Devois Whaley and Tyler Phillips in the I formation for Arkansas. They bring Petway in motion, and Austin Allen. First snap will go to Whaley. He's got plenty of room right up the middle, and a gain of 11 on first down.
And this is what we want to see Arkansas get back to. The physical play up front. You got 4 returning offensive linemen, obviously anchored by Frank Ragnow, the center. Brett Bielema says he may be one of the best that he's ever coached. They got to get back to that bruising, physical style of football that Brett Bielema is used to be the balanced Arkansas offense that they want to be this year.
27th consecutive start for the Minnesota native Frank Ragnow. Allen on play action, looking near side. That one's complete to LaMichael Petway. Here's a look at FAMU defensively.
Well, defensively, Tom, FAMU is going to have to do something to take away the run. That's one thing the coaches made adamant. They got to make Arkansas one-dimensional. They're going to try to stack the box, take away the run. That's why you're going to see those hitches as Austin Allen just hit open with free access on the outside.
FAMU had a fantastic defensive game last week against Texas Southern. Didn't allow him past midfield till late in the second half. Whaley gets bottled up on the right side, and that's going to leave 3rd and short for the Razorbacks. David Richardson, a third-year sophomore, in on the tackle.
Something to keep an eye on, the right side of this offensive line. Been a little bit in flux. Ty Clary just this week was kind of thrust into a starting position by Brett Bielema. Said he wanted to push him and see what he's made of. You're going to see a revolving door on the right side of this offensive line. Johnny Gibson, Ty Clary, Brian Wallace, really trying to figure out the right combination to complement a very solid left side of the offensive line.
Hogs converted 40% of their third downs last season. Out of the eye again. Whaley hit behind the line. And FAMU's going to force a punt on the Razorbacks' first possession. It's Elijah Jones, the redshirt freshman from Boynton, Florida, coming up with a big stop.
Not the way Arkansas wanted to start this game. 3rd and short should be bread and butter. You see a missed block there by Colton Jackson. Let his guy stick inside and really was blown up from that point on. Not able to even muster really just over a yard there. Disappointing start there for Arkansas.
Blake Johnson will punt it away. Kareem Smith waits to return it. He is very dangerous for FAMU. He also is a guy that likes to gamble. He'll ask for a fair catch and takes it just on this side of the 25-yard line. So Ryan Stanley got the start at quarterback last week for FAMU. They rolled up 400 yards of offense against Texas Southern, and he's been fantastic taking care of the football in his brief career, 2nd year as a starter. But they're going to bring out Vincent Jeffries instead, and that means that ankle injury for Stanley a little bit worse than some feared. He was in a walking boot for a good chunk of this week. Jeffries is a well-traveled senior, originally from Garner, North Carolina. Started his college career at Shaw College, then Santa Rosa Junior College. He is 36-7 as a starter all time. He was 29-2 as a starter in high school. Out of the pistol with Devin Bowers behind him, and they want to throw on first down. Pass complete behind the line of scrimmage, and Brandon Norwood picks up 1. The Rattlers have some guys on the perimeter that are of concern to Paul Rhodes in this Arkansas defense.
Obviously, Brandon Norwood caught a touchdown last week. Other guys to keep an eye on, Kareem Smith and Chavis Murphy. Chavis Murphy on the outside, a 6'6", big physical target. As soon as they get in the red zone, better believe they're going to try a 50-50 ball with him at some point today.
They go play action again and a little crossing route. And a positive play for Desmond Nord, fifth-year senior out of the Atlanta area. And that'll bring up third down for FAMU. Here's how Arkansas lines it up defensively. Paul Rhodes, the former Iowa State head coach, is now the defensive coordinator, his second year on the staff.
Paul Rhodes said this is a defense without stars, but a couple guys to keep an eye on. McTelvin, Agim, Bijan Jackson, obviously Dre Greenlaw in there as well. Going to be stars in this defense if the 3-4 pans out the way they believe it will.
They show blitz. Watch number 10, Ramsey, at the bottom of your screen. Here he comes. Time to step up. Ramsey got to him, and he's able to take down Jeffries in the backfield. It's a loss of 6. He blew right through Devin Bowers.
Randy Ramsey is a guy that these defensive coaches have been hesitant to be excited about. He has all the intangibles, all the tools. He's capable of providing as much power as he needs to, even being a little smaller of a frame guy, just under 230. But that is just talent right there. It sees the running back's going to cut him. That's something these D linemen work on all the time, shedding off the cut block and continuing to pursue the quarterback. It's a great start for number 10, Ramsey.
Chris Fadul to punt it away. The kicking game has suffered early this season for FAMU. Andre Tolliver won't get a chance for a return, and a solid punt that time for Fadul. Covers 45 yards. Arkansas bringing the pressure out of the 3-4. They've got their first sack of the season. It belongs to Randy Ramsey. Well, there's no question Arkansas center Frank Ragnow is an elite player. He hasn't allowed a sack in 3 seasons. It's more than 2,100 snaps for Jordan. This might be a bit of an emotional game for the Arkansas senior.
Absolutely. First time returning to War Memorial Stadium here, not even a year ago, after a victory here at War Memorial Stadium. His father passed away. A very, very close relationship with his father. Even called him a best friend at times, a guy that would text him all the time. Passed away just hours after watching Ragnow in this very stadium. The tidal wave of emotion cannot be underestimated early here for Ragnow.
So playing without his father John, watching, and a pass to the perimeter with Jonathan Nance. Let's check in with Cole.
You guys know what I think about Frank Ragnow. He's earned the C on that jersey as a captain of this football team. His responsibility ramps up a little bit more tonight. Jordan mentioned it earlier in the broadcast. Ty Clary getting the start at right guard. A young man that's a gray shirt. He's not even on scholarship yet, and he's starting next to Frank Ragnow. Going to help out with the signals and the calls a little bit, I'm sure. Just make sure those assignments are shored up before each snap.
Well, so far so good for the Arkansas offensive line. Second possession of the season. Out of the eye again on 2nd and 4. They'll play action. Allen dumps it off. He finds his tight end, Austin Cantrell. And one of the best blocking tight ends in college football picks up 5 and a first down.
Absolutely one of the best blocking tight ends. Also catches the ball very well. And if there's one thing that you can hang your hat on with the Dan Enos offense, is that maybe better than any team in the country, the run game marries up with the pass game. You will see boots. You will see nakeds. That was a naked there. Great job by Austin Allen, feeling the pressure from the cornerback on the backside and delivering an accurate ball quickly out of his hands to get the first down.
They'll keep it on the ground with Whaley, and he finds the outside. Beautiful vision to take it into FAMU territory inside the 45. A gain of 16 for the sophomore from Beaumont, Texas.
Another big block up the middle by Frank Ragnow, leading the way for Devwah Whaley. One thing about Whaley, when you watch him, doesn't jump off the screen with his speed or athleticism. Very proficient and talented. Has an innate ability to get skinny through the holes. You see there, elude a defender and then plow the hole right behind Ragnow, obviously lead blocking.
It's an opportunity for Whaley that they weren't sure he was going to have. Wally Williams was their starter the last couple of years. 12 touchdowns last season, but in practice number 15 of the spring, Riley Williams had retired. He was shut down after another neck injury. So an opportunity for Deborah Whaley. We'll see David Williams back there and a couple of freshmen, including Chase Hayden and Malik Williams. Cole? Second and 10 now. David Williams, a transfer from South Carolina, gets his first opportunity. Allen looking to throw. Pressured again, and Williams bobbles but can't haul it in. Terry Jefferson there to break it up for the Rattlers.
Big part of Arkansas's offense is the screen game. They rep this in practice to nauseam. The timing, the rhythm, it's an art when you talk about releasing linemen at the exact moment. That one right there had big play ability. Austin Allen just wasn't able to get the ball up and over, drop it in for an accurate pass to David Williams there. But something you'll continue to see, the screen game is very proficient and something that Enos is going to continue to come back to, whether it's outside with the receivers or off the play action with the running back.
Third season as the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach under Brett Bielema. Play clock winding down. Allen out of the shotgun. Pressure coming again. Pocket collapses as he's hit from behind, and he's picked off by Terry Jefferson, who has been all over the field for FAMU here early in this game.
And Tom, we talked about it in the open. Something that Austin Allen has to cut back on is these late decisions. You see him step up in the pocket a few times, hanging on that route. That's one thing Enos mentioned, is that most of these interceptions don't come early. They come late in the progressions. You see Colton Jackson there just not hanging on that block long enough. Austin Allen forcing to throw with pressure on his backside. Something we got to clean up. And my quarterback coach, Tom, always told me, don't make a bad play worse. It's a bad play, take a sack there, throw it in the dirt, find your check down. You have to have an answer, something that Bielema and Enos both preached on. That development of Austin Allen here, having an answer for those times that the pocket breaks down and the coverage is there so you don't have those turnovers.
113th in FBS with 15 interceptions thrown last season was Austin Allen. Vincent Jeffries getting his first start at quarterback for FAMU. Came off the bench in the third quarter last week against Texas Southern. And our SEC crew. Lee Hedricker is our white hat, first-year referee here in the SEC. Paul Rhodes, the defensive coordinator for Arkansas. Give to Devin Bowers, and he's able to pick up 3 on first down. He had 44 yards and a touchdown last week against Texas Southern.
When evaluating this 3-4 scheme, what Paul Rhodes is looking for is those big guys up front. Agim, Jackson, TJ Smith, the alignment and the strength of those guys to hold off the double team blocks, allow their linebackers to be free roaming, plug the gaps, allow them to make the tackles. So something to keep an eye on up front, the pressure they're generating and the ability to keep double teams off.
And they're without their left guard right now. Obinna Nwankwo just had to leave the game for a play after his helmet came off. Little reverse and a chance to pass. Great defense. Kareem Smith was tracked down by John Harris. Scuda, they call him, out of Harvey, Louisiana, with a big-time play.
Scuda's a guy that Paul Rhodes lights up when you talk about his athletic ability. Great decision here by the receiver, not throwing that one downfield, as I talked about earlier, not making a bad play worse.
Your quarterback coach is smart. Did you listen to him?
Half the time.
Third down now for FAMU. Ramsey got a sack on the near side. Last time he's at the top of the screen on the line for Arkansas. Play clock winding out. They just get it off. And incomplete as Jeffries misfires, trying to find Brandon Norwood. Ryan Poley had the coverage. So the Rattlers unable to do anything with their takeaway after the Austin Allen pick. And Chris Fadul will punt it away to Andre Tolliver. Tolliver will take a fair catch at the 35-yard line. It's another opportunity for Austin Allen, trying to clean his game up after an interception last time out for the Hogs.
SEC Opening Night is brought to you by Holiday Inn Express. Be the readiest.
As the River Rail electric streetcar line. Take you from Little Rock to North Little Rock. See how we're getting home tonight, partners. Can you call ahead?
Looks fun to me.
Midway through the first quarter, SEC opening night, and Arkansas trying to improve on a 7-6 record last year. Black Friday for Brett Bielema was just about as miserable as a holiday could get, and then came New Year's Day. 2 second-half meltdowns against Missouri and Virginia Tech, and the season ended on a sour note for these Razorbacks. Chase Hayden, the freshman in the game, and here he is, first carry, and he's able to rip off 8 on first down. Frank Ragnow leading the way for the freshman out of Memphis.
Having a ton of success right now running behind Ragnow. This is a big drive for Arkansas. Not the way you want to start a game. Ragnow and Allen both thrust into leadership roles this offseason after the bowl game. They got to rally the troops right now. This has to be a change in mentality. Have to put together a drive.
They go with a jet sweep for Deion Stewart. Made the first and second men miss. Third and fourth were right there to gobble them up. Only one that time for Stewart, the sophomore from down in Hardy, Arkansas.
Stewart's a guy that's really benefited from the absence of Jared Cornelius. Really leading the team in receptions outside of Cornelius returning this year. A guy that Allen started to target more and more in camp. And then you can see the athleticism. He was a return guy. They're going to get the ball in his hands however possible. Huge third down here. Offensive line has to win this one. It will be a run. They got to get a yard here to keep this drive moving.
Tyler Phillips is in at fullback. To the left side, a little bit of room to pop through, and then Dever Whaley gets put on his back after a gain of 4. Whaley had a big game here last year here in Little Rock against Alcorn State. Went for a $135 on just 9 carries. Here he picks up a key first.
Unbalanced there, had a couple extra defenders, offensive linemen and a tight end outside. Florida A&M not able to shift their defensive line over. They've been giving them problems with that gap exchange. See if Arkansas continues to go more and more unbalanced, getting guys in numbers on the outside.
They shift to the eye this time and play action for Allen. Incomplete, trying to fit it to Deion Stewart. Pretty good coverage in the back end by Orlando McKinley, junior out of Westlake High School in Atlanta. They'll leave a 2nd and 10. Talk about Austin Allen and the desire to improve, to cut down on the 15 interceptions from last year. How much improvement can you realistically expect between a junior and senior season?
I think you can expect to see a ton. It's only relative to the amount of game experience you actually have.
He'll hand it off on 2nd down. Whaley gets cut down. His 2nd year as a starter for Austin Allen, who grew up in the game. His brother Brandon in a preseason game for the Jaguars tonight in Atlanta. Is that when you made your biggest strides as a quarterback?
Similar to Austin Allen, I didn't play at all either until my junior season. So your junior year, or whether it's your freshman year, your first year starting, everything moves a little bit faster. I would like to see Austin Allen get in rhythm here. You can tell he's not Enos. I would like to see him dial up some short passes, something on the perimeter to get him back in the game, get him comfortable.
Jared Cornelius is in the game at wide receiver. Allen looking for him over the middle all day to go through his progressions, and a nice spin move. Stays on his feet, and he'll chuck it complete for a first down to Austin Cantrell. Little ad-lib there, and it's an 11-yard gain and a first down.
This is the creativity, the moxie, the poise under pressure. I love to see the playmaking ability of Allen here. Great job not forcing to throw as you see him step up in the pocket. And this is all Allen right here. This is all backyard football, be able to keep his eyes downfield and find Cantrell.
Okay, that's all fine and good tonight against FAMU, but I don't think Dan Enos wants him doing that next week against TCU.
No, and that's one of the things he's going to have to start to get to quicker in his progression, finding the outlet. Get it to the tight end or simply throw it away.
Here's the freshman Chase Hayden again, and Hayden looks really good after a couple of carries tonight. That one goes for 9.
Chase Hayden's a guy that every coach that we talk to this week raved about. A true freshman, just got here in the summer, former basketball player. Bielema put it very simply, he's got an ability to create, make nothing out of something, something out of nothing, however you say it. He's got that ability, earn the right to get on the field. They'll find ways to get him the ball. They got a stable of backs here that I think they're really comfortable with.
His dad, Aaron, played in the SEC for Tennessee, then 4 seasons in the NFL. He had him studying film early, way back when he was playing flag football. Chase Hayden was a student of the game. His 3rd carry of the night. It's another great one. Hayden, with happy feet, dances his way all the way down to the 11-yard line. A gain of 13 for the freshman from Memphis, Tennessee, Chase Hayden.
We can see the explosiveness, jumps off the screen. Chase Hayden grew up, wanted to be a basketball player, probably could have played in college. Interesting story his father tells. They were on an AAU trip. They hopped into a hog heaven, found a life-size poster of Darren McFadden at the time playing for Arkansas. Hayden put that on his wall for his entire childhood, and it was his growth marker. Little did you know it, someday he'd be putting this uniform on as a running back for Arkansas.
Well, you can check the line right at 5'10" for Hayden on that growth chart now. A former Arkansas great. Kind of following those McFadden footsteps, and after averaging 10 yards a carry in his first 3, Emilio Gibbs brings Hayden down at the line of scrimmage. What do you think overall of Arkansas's offense here in this first quarter?
Understandable. You know, in these games, you hate to say it, but they probably weren't mentally prepared as they were. It's a game that you try not to look over, but most of the time you probably do. Sometimes it takes a half a quarter to get back in rhythm, get comfortable. We're seeing here them putting a drive together like we thought they would earlier.
Devwah Whaley back in the game at tailback for the Hogs. Play action. Allen looking end zone, comes back near side. And that one's complete to Deion Stewart. And a pickup of 6. What do you make of his progressions tonight?
Well, you see, things aren't there as early as he wants it to be. So we are really testing the deficiency that was so noticeable last year with us now. The ability to find the outlet, step up in the pocket. Here's one thing that is promising, though. Devwah Whaley picking up a one-on-one block on the outside. Maybe got away with a little arms around the edge there, but something they really struggled in last year was picking up blocks from the running back position. Good to see that there.
10th play of the drive. Arkansas looking at a 3rd and 4. Whaley, he's in. Arkansas's first touchdown of the season comes from Devwah Whaley.
It's the guy they're going to depend a lot on this year, Devwah Whaley. And really they're going to depend even more on those guys right in front of him. And what we talked about earlier, the right side of that offensive line was the one paving the way for that touchdown run for number 21, Devwah Whaley.
You know, Brett Bielema likes that grinded out drive, 11 plays and 64 yards. Cole Hedlund with the point after. And Arkansas is able to capitalize thanks to Austin Allen's efficiency. He was 2 for 3 on the drive. Hayden and Whaley carrying the load for the Hogs on the ground. We got a full day of action coming your way on the SEC Network. Dave Steckel. Steck is back in Como, the former defensive coordinator under Gary Pinkel, to take on Mizzou. Season opener for Old Field. Mississippi State and the Nick Fitzgerald era continue. They'll be in Stark Vegas against Charleston Southern. We will make our way to the Plains for Georgia Southern. That vaunted triple option attack against Jared Stidham. And number 12, Auburn. All 3 games can also be seen streaming live on the ESPN app. Football season's here, partner. Orlando McKinley back to receive for FAMU from the 7. A little bit of room. And we've got a couple flags on the play. There's a flag on the play. SEC officiating crew tonight. Lee Hendrick, our referee, in his first game as a referee. Opening night for Lee Hendrick. Here's a look at the last drive for Arkansas.
And when your defensive line is giving you games, you simplify. Lead, ISO, kick out that A-gap. And Kendrick Jackson, the 253-pound junior, is blowing holes. You saw them run that 3 or 4 times on that drive to finish it off. So also notice a little bit the offensive line, Cole. Their splits are a little tighter.
I noticed that on that drive, Jordan. Really, that's the first drive that I noticed it on. You watched this team a year ago, 10-inch, 12-inch splits. They're down to about 3-4 inch splits in between center and 2 guards. So trying to tighten things up in the middle of that Arkansas offensive line.
Well, FAMU's got to tighten it up as well. Additional penalty on Elijah Casey on that return. Unsportsmanlike conduct. One more of those and he'll have to leave the game early. So that backs up the Rattlers from his own end zone. Jeffries hands it off, and it will rip off an 8-yard run from Kevin Newman on his first carry of the night.
Something to keep an eye on here. This is Paul Rhodes this week preaching on playing outside in. FAMU runs the outside zone very, very well. They got to be able to bundle everything inside and stop that run.
Here's Ricky Henryless, and he gets bottled up by Scooter Harris out of Louisiana, a gain of 1. We're talking with Paul Rhodes about that, just that idea within the 3-4 outside in versus inside out, and that's a bit of change and something that you and Cole, as former players, would be curious about, especially defensively.
Yeah, because you have to have first and foremost the bodies, then the alignment as well to play outside in. You have the bodies of Agim, TJ Smith on the outside. We saw them give up a little bit. That's one thing about the three down front, Tom. You got some big holes there to sneak through in short yardage.
We also have a big guy in Bijan Jackson at the nose position, 6'1", 339 senior. To the perimeter, bobbled in great hands for a reception. It'll only be 3 yards, but Chap Hunter, redshirt freshman, able to pick it up. And FAMU sees the quarter come to an end. They'll be looking at a second down when we return to Little Rock. SEC opening night in Little Rock, Arkansas, as the Razorbacks welcome FAMU to town here at War Memorial Stadium. An early interception got the Rattlers some momentum, but then Arkansas turned to its ground game. Devwall Whaley has the first touchdown of the season for the Hogs. A team that they want in Brett Bielema's mold. Strong offensive line and great running backs. What he had with 3 straight Rose Bowls at Wisconsin. Arkansas dominating most of the important stats. The 1 interception, the lone blip on the screen. Great penetration up front. Ball came loose, but it ended up right into the hands of the quarterback, Vincent Jeffries. It's a loss of 2. Would have been much worse for the Rattlers.
One that I think he thought about pulling for a second. Something gave Arkansas trouble last year. Zone read, mobile quarterbacks. Might have been a pull read, but either way, this 3-4 scale. I didn't notice that. That's something you don't coach, Tom. Take that one to the ground. Most of the time, that doesn't bounce your direction.
I thought live it popped out when he got hit. Jeffries will roll out, and he leaves it short. Well, why not? I mean, you've been sitting on the bus for 10 hours. You've been anxious to really get things going. You get an SEC opponent. Let's make something happen, huh?
I mean, yeah, maybe on the other 20. Not backed up on your own 20, though. That one's going to get picked up and walked in for 6 the other way.
First start for Vincent Jeffries at quarterback. Ryan Stanley, their starter from last week in the second half of last season, out with a left ankle injury. They'll run a personal protector on late. Play clock will be at least 5, if not below. Andre Tolliver waits to return for Arkansas. Not a good one. Rattlers will get a roll out of it, and that'll take it to midfield. 33-yard punt. Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern, the SEC Nation Traveling Pregame Roadshow is back to kick off the season. And they got some special guests. Steve Spurrier, the head ball coach, is going to be there. Les Miles was in studio tonight. He'll be out there as well. You can join them at Lot 3 outside AT&T Stadium on Saturday morning live from Arlington, Texas. Some news and notes. BYU and LSU moved from Houston to New Orleans due to the flooding from Hurricane Harvey. Byproduct is a quasi-home game for the Tigers. Meanwhile, Florida will be about 10 players, including a couple of key offensive playmakers, as they take on Jim Harbaugh's Michigan team. Allen, complete to Jared Cornelius, who was out most of the ball and a good chunk of the spring. There's a back injury that limited Cornelius throughout fall camp. We saw him on the practice field a couple of days ago. Brett Needleman says we're going to take the cautionary route. If he is even a little bit doubtful, we're not going to play him.
Great to see him out there. The guy that returns that Austin Allen has the most chemistry with, and good to see Austin Allen get a quick completion early, get back in a rhythm.
David Williams is in at tailback. And Williams, trying to be patient, finally dives over the line and picks up one. Williams transferred in from South Carolina, but for a good chunk of the summer, he was committed to UConn. Committed to the Huskies in January when he announced he was going to transfer away from Will Muschamp's program and spent 3 months intending on joining the Huskies. A graduate transfer spot opened up at Arkansas. Scott Pagano, the Clemson defensive tackle, former Clemson defensive tackle, instead of joining the Razorbacks, instead went to Oregon, and the game of free agency kept spinning. David Williams ends up a hog. 3rd and 3. Quick hitter on the slant and off the hands of LaMichael Petway. We're going to talk a little bit about Austin Allen's footwork over the course of tonight and how that might play a hand in him getting the ball out a little bit quicker. That one was just off the mark.
Yeah, Austin Allen got to be more accurate with that ball. You're a 5th-year senior. I know it's your 2nd year starting. Got to be accurate there. But in the gun especially, we're going to notice here. We'll show you a few times. Different intricacy with the footwork that they're using now, implemented just this summer or this fall for the first time.
Blake Johnson will punt it away. Kareem Smith gambled on a couple punt returns last week against Texas Southern. He'll bail on this one, and it is caught inside the 1, and that's when it will be spotted. It turns into a 42-yard punt. Tremendous effort from Kevin Richardson II to get down there, and special teams play looks really good for the Razorbacks early. Richardson is a starting nickelback. It looked like a pick. He shares it with his friends. Great punt. Thousands affected by Hurricane Harvey urgently need support. Help the American Red Cross provide meals and shelter to these families. Donate today by going to redcross.org/ESPN or call 1-855-999-GIVE. Disney is doing its part, a $1 million donation, designating today as a day of giving across Disney, ABC, including our ABC network affiliates, Freeform, Radio Disney, and ESPN. FAMU backed up, and they'll get a little bit of breathing room by turning to the ground game and a pickup of 8 yards for Ricky Henryless. But a great game against Texas Southern last week. By the way, Texas Southern based in Houston, one of those programs affected by Hurricane Harvey. Their game this week has been postponed.
Henryless used to be a wide receiver. They decided they want to get him the ball more. Great to see Josh Liddell, number 28, in there. Paul Rhodes been getting his secondary to be more physical.
On 2nd and 1, FAMU will get a fresh set of downs. Henryless again. Both of their key tailbacks, Henryless and Devin Bowers, came in as wide receivers. And this is an offense that Marty Spieler, their offensive coordinator, and head coach Alex Wood, they want it to be run, of course, of high efficiency, but also high rate. They ran 80 plays last week against Texas Southern. The goal is 95 plays a game. And talking with the coaches this week, they said, no, it's a little bit different against Arkansas. We might slow play it a little bit. They don't want to get into a track meet. That's obvious. FAMU will take it across the left side for more on why they're going that direction. Here's Cole.
Khalil Harris, 6'2" guard for Florida A&M, Tom's a guy that sticks out on film. He's a technician. He's got great feet, fundamentally sound, uses his hands well. 6'2", 240. 240 pounds, and he's out here manning up some of these SEC defensive linemen. Got to give props to the left guard today.
11 starts last year, both guard and center for Harris. On 2nd and 9, Jeffries on the run. And a falling grab made by Chavis Murphy. Gain of 3 for Chavis.
It's another thing Cole just mentioned, a 40-pound guard. You don't see that in the SEC much, which is why they utilize that athleticism, get zoned to the outside, get them on the move, and then you see them moving the pocket with the quarterback as well, getting outside the pocket, getting out of the way of all those big boys on the other side. Big 3rd down here. See what front Arkansas gets into. They're in their normal 3 down. They've been going 4 down on 3rd downs previously.
They'll only rush 3, and they'll get to the quarterback. Vincent Jeffries wanted to run it out of there. McTelvin Agim had to stop for a loss of 2.
Normal 3 down front there, but great pressure. Agim is a guy that's going to move all over the field, and he actually twisted from the far opposite side of the line of scrimmage. Speed, power, strength. They're going to move him all over the field. He's going to be a star, even though Paul Rhodes said they don't have any yet.
Tolliver back for another opportunity for a return. He stands at midfield. Arkansas should end up with great field position tonight. After this one, it's a beauty of a kick from hang time perspective. And we'll check up just shy of midfield. It's a 7-0 lead for Arkansas after that 32-yard punt. They're already in Rattler territory.
SEC Opening Night is brought to you by Pilot Flying J, the official travel center fueling the SEC.
In the capital city of the natural state, Arkansas playing its lone home game in Little Rock this season. And the Razorbacks have a 7-0 lead on FAMU. Austin Allen, 2nd-year starter and a captain for Arkansas, struggled a little bit tonight.
Yeah, still waiting for him to get in rhythm. And the thing we talked about in the open, staring down receivers and making a bad play worse. It starts with your feet. Look here. Throwing way open. His left foot is pointed at the goalpost. He's throwing a hitch to the outside, or excuse me, a slant. Accuracy issues, eye issues, got to get him in rhythm.
Chase Hayden is in at running back, and he rips off another big one. Hayden taken down just outside of the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 17.
That big playability jumping off the screen. Early in this game, Chase Hayden, the freshman, true freshman, playing his way in. Great block on the outside. Ragnow coming around, getting in the action.
One of the questions coming into this season for Arkansas, could they have enough success running the football? Were their stable of running backs going to be good enough to be productive? Was the offensive line going to be improved enough? Little nice move by Hayden again. And we won't answer all of those questions tonight against FAMU's defense, but if they're going to have an inconsistent play from the quarterback position, are they not going to need almost perfect play from the ground game?
Absolutely, and I don't think it's as much an issue with the running backs as it is with what's in front of him. Got juniors at both guards. Yelda Froholt's a guy that wasn't even playing offensive line a couple years ago until last year. He's improving. They got to have consistency up front in order to set the tone in the run game and protect Austin Allen.
Second down and 8, and play action. Allen, deep out, a little bit of contact, and there comes the flag. He was trying to find Jonathan Nance, and Orlando McKinley got there a beat early.
Austin Allen's pass intended for Jonathan Nance, incomplete.
Pass interference on the defense, number 10. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Automatic first down for Arkansas after the pass interference. They've shuffled their offensive line here again on this possession. Ty Clary is in at right guard. Gibson moves to right tackle.
Trying to get Austin Allen to be consistent. This is the guy he's got to be watching. He's going to have his speedster, Jordan Jones, on the outside with a post. That should have been the throw. Watch that high-low on the safety. Got the outside post. Jordan Jones, elite speed. Possibly missed one on the back end there.
Nance, a junior college transfer. Devwah Whaley in a tailback for Arkansas. And they're able to penetrate. Terry Jefferson came in from his safety spot. It's a loss of a couple. Second down, 12 now. You were looking early in this game for some easy short to intermediate throws for Austin Allen for him to find a rhythm. They haven't really gone to them.
They're getting a little more press on the outside. FAMU playing a little closer than they were earlier. That's why you saw the shot here. They have some room at the top of your screen here. Let's see if they exploit it.
Here comes pressure. Whaley picks it up. Fire, end zone, touchdown, Arkansas. Deion Stewart. A 16-yard strike from Allen.
An issue from last year that we continue to harp on is the running backs in protection. That's a reason Austin Allen's jersey had way too many grass stains on it. We're seeing the running back step up big tonight in protection. Another huge block there to allow Austin Allen to find the open receiver. Really on his third read there. Came all the way across the field.
A 4-play, 48-yard drive. Stewart came in with only 2 catches to his name. Some inexperience on the perimeter for Arkansas, but Stewart has his first career touchdown, and Arkansas has a 2-touchdown lead. Devwah Whaley picks up the blitzing backer, and Allen able to fire one to the end zone to put the Hogs up 2 scores. Arkansas is able to take a 2-touchdown lead thanks to the pass from Austin Allen to Deion Stewart, but they had to do it in the face of pressure. And we'll walk you through that after the Hogs kick it away. This is an offensive line which allowed 35 sacks last year. They returned 4 starters, but they're brand new at left tackle with Colton Jackson, and Yeldon Froholt at left guard in his second season as a starter and a former defensive lineman. And that's where the pressure came. Orlando McKinney won't have a chance for a return. Here's the strike and the protection from Allen.
Florida A&M is a 4-down team right here. This nose guard should alert Allen that there is something up. Originally, the line is sliding this way. He thinks he has it covered, but really the pressure is going to come from up top, which is picked up by the running back, and Jackson has to slide over to pick up one more. But really what we're going to see is Austin Allen being Austin Allen. The moxie, the poise under pressure. You'd like it to get completely picked up. That's something we got to see. But the throw under pressure is a thing of beauty. Like to see him see that before the snap. A lot of things can tip you off. This is a 4-down team. There are 3 down there. You think something's up. That's something that he'll continue to get better at.
How much time do you have to identify it and then communicate it?
Tom, you got as much time as you need, right? You can look at that play clock. If you need a few minutes, slide the protection or throw hot. A lot of things you can do to get yourself out of that situation.
FAMU on first down runs it behind Ricky Henryless. The redshirt freshman picks up 3.
Or hey, stare down the barrel and strike a TD right in the face of 2 guys. I mean, that's what we love about Austin Allen. But these things, you have to be better and more consistent at, or you're never going to compete week in and week out in the SEC.
And then you thank Devwah Whaley once you get to the sideline. 2nd and 7. Ryan Stanley getting the start at quarterback for the Rattlers. 1-0 on the season after an opening win against Texas Southern. That came behind quarterback Ryan Stanley, who has not seen the field tonight for FAMU. And they'll be looking at a 3rd and short after another carry by Henryless. Wayne Eugene Jr. in with the stop for Arkansas. A touchdown and a pick tonight for Austin Allen. 3rd and 1. And we'll see where it's spotted. Maybe just an inch or 2 short. It was Henryless again, and they'll be looking at a 4th and inches. Twice last week against Texas Southern on 3rd and 1, FAMU threw the ball. Now they're going to bring the punt team in. Paul Rhodes, for the most part, is going to lead his defense on the field and try to guard against a fake. They'll put Tolliver back to return. But otherwise, this is not a punt return team. Chris Padul, the punter. And we've got flags down.
Delay of game on the kicking team, number 43. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So that'll back them up, and they'll try it again. Head coach Alex Wood, former Iowa running back. A couple of Iowa graduates leading their team tonight. Wood on one side, Brett Bielema on the other. The freshman Fadul averaged 36 yards a punt last week. Tolliver with a fair catch, got it at his shoulder pads. 34-yard punt for Fadul. Beautiful Little Rock, Arkansas, illuminated using thousands of LEDs. It's almost as dazzling as Jordan's hair. All right, Peter, thanks. You guys look great in studio tonight, by the way. Nice to add a stench every time you can. First and 10 for Austin Allen. And he will fire to the perimeter. Catch is made by Jordan Jones, a freshman from down in Smackover, Arkansas. Gain of 8. You ever been to Smackover? We might take a road trip there tonight. A couple of superstars have come out of Smackover.
Sounds like what I want to do to you when you say something dumb next time.
I'll go sleep you a beef
Smack
on
over
you.
the head.
You're allowed 2 a night.
I got 2 to go.
2nd and 2 now. The great Clyde Scott, College Football Hall of Famer, played at the Naval Academy and played at Arkansas, is from Smackover. First down carry for Devwall Whaley. It's a pickup of 7.
With their ISO run, Tom, they're really finding success in the A-gap. Simplifying things. The D-line was giving them trouble early, stunting with twists. Run right at the A-gap, kick out that 1 and 3 technique. You have a fullback, let him lead. If you don't, push it onto the linebackers.
Little jet sweep action. Jordan Jones again. And he gets taken down out of bounds. Let's take a look at Cole Kublik.
Yelda Froholt is a guy that I think can be an exceptional offensive lineman in this league, Tom. But one thing you need to know about him, he switched from defensive line. Didn't play a down of offense in high school. Now, as a D lineman, you're down a 3-point stance a lot of times. Your feet are staggered. You're coming off the ball like a sprinter. It's more about the hips than it is the feet. I'm not worried about the official. What they good there. I'm bulky enough to handle him. Offensive line, you have to keep a wide base. In pass pro, your feet have to follow each other. In the run game, keep a wide base, or else you're going to tump over, lean over, and lose your balance, as you saw right there. I kept my balance when the ref ran into me. I had the wide base. Froholt's learning that. He should turn into an excellent SEC offensive lineman if that comes around this year.
Cole, let me tell you, Michael Williams, the side judge, just gave you the side eye.
We're good.
I think you might have to give him a pat on the back and half.
I'm not sure what I'm more surprised at, that Cole just took a hit from the referee, or that his pants didn't rip getting down in that 3-point stance.
You're next to him, guy. He's got some bulk. It could be a challenge for him. I'm not going to lie. The knees are not healthy.
First and 10 now for Arkansas. And Whaley picks up 5. They'll leave 3rd down now for the Razorbacks. Pardon me, 2nd down. Touchdown run from Devwall Whaley to open the scoring, and then Austin Allen with a 16-yard touchdown pass. 2 to 3 run to pass ratio. They want to be a balanced offense at the end of the day. Everybody says that. Allen on the bootleg. Great hands by Cheyenne O'Grady. Credit the gloves. Perhaps it's a gain of 9.
Tom, another 3 down front. They decided to move the pocket this time. Good job by Austin Allen, just taking what the defense gives him. I'd like to be a little more accurate, but he had the tight end crossing from the other side. That would have been a tough throw. Instead, he just takes the first down. That's savvy by a senior quarterback.
A couple of Fayetteville High School products hook up there. Cheyenne, formerly known as CJ, said, I want a fresh start. We're going to go with a name that's on the birth certificate. David Williams. Plenty of room on the left side. Williams to the 10. And he gets tripped up after a gain of 12. Hayden Johnson created some space for him at fullback.
Hey, speaking of a fresh start, a guy that was humbled as a transfer, just wants to be on the field. He's going to make an impact this year for the Arkansas, whether it's in protection or whether it's breaking off runs like that. A very capable, athletic, and physical back to add to this stable.
Yeah, great opportunity for him. He was in Will Muschamp's doghouse for a while there in South Carolina after starting early in the season last year. As a graduate transfer, it's a new opportunity. 1st and goal for the Hogs. Here's Williams again, following everybody on that left side, including Hayden Johnson, a product of Columbia, Missouri. Pickup of 3.
This is the pace that Brett Bielema wants. Wants to slow things down, control the line of scrimmage, power, gap control.
And speaking of that, we talk about Tyler Phillips, Hayden Johnson, Cantrell O'Grady. We've seen Jeremy Patton. They use the tight end and the fullback, or that H-back, as well as anybody.
And a great adjustment. They're using leverage now. They're motioning tight ends from one side to the other to create an advantage in numbers for the run game.
Johnson picks up the first guy, and Williams will walk in off of his hip. It's a 4-yard touchdown run for David Williams.
And right back to that ISO run up the A-gap. It's the bread and butter. Why get away from it now? It's got to feel good for a transfer. Underappreciated, looking for a home.
5 touchdowns at South Carolina, and he gets his first as a Razorback.
Boy, that's got to feel good.
Cole Hedlund to attempt the point after. Couple of long drives for Arkansas. That one 9 plays and 63 yards. How about the play of the fullback? Hayden Johnson, number 32. Clearing the path for David Williams. It's a new season. We got a new show for you. Greg McElroy and Marcus Spears debut their SEC Network football talk show, Thinking Out Loud. That's Monday at 7 Eastern. Also available streaming live on the ESPN app. I don't know if we're going to get those two to actually share their opinion. That might be a challenge.
God, I can't wait for that show. I was in the studios the other day looking at the set. That's going to be a no-holds-bar. I mean, you got Marcus Spears and McElroy. They both are right about everything.
Here's my early prediction. Marcus is going to outdress Greg every night of the season.
Is that even a question?
No. Orlando McKinley back for the Rattlers. And he will not bring this one out. They had a safety on a kickoff return last week. Minute 21 left in the second quarter here in Little Rock. Coming up at the half, you can watch the live performance of the Razorback Marching Band on SEC Network Plus. Start streaming now on the ESPN app and on Watch ESPN. So Arkansas, first 2 possessions went punt, pick. Since then, they've scored on 3 of their last 4 possessions. What's been different for them?
Well, they got into a rhythm. They also adjusted. You notice the run game early wasn't working, so they started going, motioning tight ends, creating unbalanced formations, creating numbers to the side they wanted to run to. And as well, they noticed, hey, just run it right up the gut, get simple, lead block, A-gap, got back to the bread and butter running the ball.
Quick hit to the outside, and that's complete for 4. Brandon Norwood with the catch. Mentioned this earlier, but Ryan Stanley is not in action tonight for FAMU. They've got an injured Razorback down. It's Ryan Pulley. So Vincent Jeffries getting the start at quarterback, and that has left Sunshine Ryan Stanley on the headset. He was in a walking boot over the course of this week. A bit of a change-up for FAMU.
He's a guy they were excited about. Went 4-3 down the stretch last year as a starter. Won the opener. Coach Wood opened up competition because he wanted to put a fire under Stanley. Wanted to push him a little bit. Just so happens he's a little banged up. And, you know, I've been impressed with Vincent Jeffries tonight. His accuracy throwing the football. Still waiting for them to take advantage of the height on the outside and take a shot.
Stanley was their second leading rusher last season. Taking a long look at Ryan Pulley, the junior from Fort Myers, Florida. Only allowed 1 touchdown last year, with 63 passes coming his way. And so he'll be replaced by freshman Cameron Curl.
Looks like he just overextended his right arm there. Hopefully he's okay. Ton of talent. Guy that can really project to the NFL. 1 of 63 passes in his direction last year resulted in a touchdown.
Yeah, that is an impressive number.
Also second in the SEC in passes defended.
Change of quarterback for FAMU. Well, Taj Tolbert, who's their third-string quarterback, actually is now in at tailback. And they go play action. Jeffries to take off. Can't find the blocking, and he's taken down by Dejon Harris. And a timeout used by Arkansas to try to get the ball back with under a minute to go here in the third quarter.
That is their first charge timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
So we'll have a 30-second timeout here. See if the Hogs can get another score here before the end of the half. It's already a 3-touchdown lead. The offense seems to have hit the stride. They've scored on 3 of their last 4 possessions after a punt and a pick to get this thing going. Tom Hart alongside Jordan Rogers with Cole Kublik. We'll be here every Saturday night during the SEC season. What do you make of what Arkansas's offense has done on the last 4 possessions?
A little slow start, understandable. Sometimes the first game, there's some emotion, some nerves to get out. You saw the adjustments in the run game, though. The balance, the blocking by the tight end, motioning from one side to the other, creating an outbalance of numbers, and also getting back to bruising football, which is running right up the A-gap with a lead fullback. That's the type of football and really the identity that Brett Bielema wants.
FAMU comes out of the timeout looking at a 3rd and 3. And they'll go play action. Jeffries chased out of bounds by Randy Ramsey. You know, you think as a whole about Austin Allen's night, especially within the scope of what he did last year with the 15 interceptions, and he comes out on their second possession and throw a pick. And you feel for him, number one, but also I'm curious from a mental standpoint. He's waited all offseason to put the interceptions behind him, then he throws one on their second possession.
Yeah, not the way you want to start it, but honestly, maybe the best thing that can happen. Because another thing that coaches, Dan Enos especially, is wanting him to do is have a short memory. These plays are going to happen. Now, can we fix things? Can we coach off it? Yes. Can you bounce back? We've seen him do that.
Andre Tolliver hasn't had a chance for a return, but he's been out there more than a few times. This will be a line drive, and he wants a fair catch and fights it at the 32-yard line. 35-yard punt that time. So 42 seconds. What do you expect out of Allen and the offense here? Take a couple deep shots?
I don't know if I'd say a deep shot. I think you want to start with a quick completion, see if you can get a chunk of yards after the catch, and that'll dictate what the pace is going to be and if you're going to have time. 42 seconds, 2 timeouts. I know it doesn't sound like it, but that's plenty of time to get down into field goal range. I see a quick completion to see if you can break off 10 or 15 yards, and then they might push the pace.
Cole Hedlund is their place kicker. So out of the shotgun, Allen looking and looking. They get a hand on him and bring him down. David Richardson, who was in on a couple of sacks last week against Texas Southern, takes down Allen for a loss of 4.
That should dictate it right there. They're going to let this one probably end up going to half. Got to get rid of the ball here. You can only ask your offensive lineman to block for so long. That's the maturation of the quarterback in his second year, learning when to toss it in the sands.
So that's how the first half will come to a close. Arkansas runs 38 plays, and they find 3 touchdowns out of it. 210 yards of offense in the first half for Austin Allen and Brett Bielema's Razorbacks. Our score is 21-0 at the half. And Little Rock, let's take it to the studio. Peter Burns, Matt Stinchcomb, and Chris Dorn.